Mic check. Look, see, you could hear me, but they couldn't hear me. But I'm just talking up Will. Will is a beast mode. That's all I was doing, introducing Will from Galveston, from Songs for Lila, the man, the myth, the legend. No, yeah, I was kind of talking about keep hyping, man. Let's go, man. This is what we do. We get hype here. Yeah, so yeah, I was introducing as how we met. We're both music dudes, and then I slowly watched him kind of become what he is today. Painted said, "Howdy, Will." Painted is my wife, by the way. That's yeah. You know her as
I know her alias.
Her alias that is more hidden than her online alias. But yeah, I want to get into it because I know like you have got to have an interesting musical journey, man. And starting off, how I've been starting off recently is like, what was the music that was playing in your house like growing up?
Ooh, let's see. A lot of contemporary worship music. I grew up like mega sheltered, so
yeah,
that was definitely like the only thing.
I pretty much assumed that. So like,
Christian
did you enjoy
rap,
it?
I can believe it. Oh, dude, I was like crazy about it when I was a little kid. Yeah, 'cause I was literally all I knew. I just love music. So like anything that was playing, I was like stank face to anything that sounded good. It didn't matter what it was. I was like. Anytime I heard something new, I was like, "Oh, that thing! Oh, that thing!"
Yeah.
But no, that's it.
So you just said something about Christian rap music, and that's actually the second time Christian rap music has come up on this podcast.
That's funny.
But is that something you were into too? Like,
yeah, like
just because it was different, or just because you enjoyed it?
Because it was like the most bumping thing I was allowed to listen to. So like. I feel like I was searching for good music amongst like a sea of copycat music that's like kind of mid. So anything that was like remotely different, had a beat, like had more than 4 chords, I was like, yes, let's go.
Yeah.
So like I got so hyped into DC Talk, and there was a couple of like my dad got into this random phase of like Christian metal, but it wasn't. It was just like it was like Christian hard rock, I guess, but it was pretty soft, man.
Are you talking about? I feel like there's a band called Demon Hunter or something.
Yeah, it's like that. It's along those lines. Like I feel like I don't even remember the bands, but he found like one song that he really liked, and he was like, "Yes, heavy music is cool, man."
That's so funny. Is he like much older of a generation than you?
Yeah.
Like
well, I don't know. His favorite music is like. Oh, I guess other than Christian contemporary was like 60s, 70s, and 80s like rock, like radio rock hits.
Okay.
So I have like a really weird, deep knowledge of like all these obscure 60s, 70s, 80s songs.
Okay.
Because my dad had a construction company and I worked summers for him. So he had that on the radio. That was like his work music.
Yeah.
So other than like straight up worship tracks, it was that and like weird songs from the 80s. And
so was that like a guilty pleasure of his that he just like listened to? Yeah.
I think he felt really wild for that.
So was that like something he would like hide from your mom? Like,
no,
don't tell her I listened to this.
Really into it. Like that was one of his things that he just like didn't care about, which is so funny because they're cagey about so many things. But he'll be like at work like pour some sugar on me, and like that he was just living his best life.
No, that's great. Like, because I know, like, especially that era of rock, 70s and 80s, there's a lot of like sex, drugs, and rock and roll. So like, I was trying to figure out how he would rectify that with Christian contemporary music. Like, I listened to 2 songs on rock radio. Now I got to listen to 5 contemporary Christian songs to make up for it.
Yes, absolutely. That's just one of the things he oddly did not care about.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Like, if my dad was like, "It's fine," then everybody else was like, "Oh, it's fine." Like, we were all so dumb. Like
so he was like the leader of like your
self-proclaimed. Yeah, he was kind of he was like if he said it's fine kind of
word
traditional family values, but like super toxic at the same time.
Right, like head of the household type vibe. Yeah, I got you, man. That's cool, man. Like, it's always interesting. So like, did you ever try to write Christian songs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've never been. I was never like a very disciplined writer.
Oh, okay.
I feel like for like my whole early life, I was a theater kid, but I wasn't a music kid. So like
Okay.
I didn't grow up in band. I didn't play any instruments. I didn't have any like contemporary music background
Mm,
or theory or anything. Like I still don't really have much of a grasp on theory to this
mm.
day.
Oh, I'm the same way.
Most of it's just like if I hear it and I like it, then I play it.
Right.
And I've grown to appreciate being able to play by ear more now
Yeah.
because I felt like a loser because I couldn't read sheet music.
Nah.
But then, or I play
No, like
I'll be-
guitar players don't read sheet music. That's just the fact. We can
yeah,
accept that. We're good. Like, and sight reading is different than reading. Like, I can tell you what notes they are, but I wouldn't be able to just play it. Like, it's
yes, like
already we
playing in
can.
real time is
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. So, yeah, dude, don't worry about it. It's like especially as a guitar player, singer, songwriter, nobody expects us to know how to read music. If you know how to read chords, and I'm assuming you do, you're solid. Yeah, you're solid.
And I'm gonna be honest, like tabs
Mhm.
is like this year. Like
Really?
like, I've been playing guitar for almost 8 years, and tabs I was like, oh, I get it now.
That's so funny. That's so interesting. So you learned with just cowboy chords?
I learned like playing the only music I was allowed to play, which is worship music, and
Mhm.
then like that was the only performance examples I had in my life. Was like the only
Okay.
stages I was on was like in church or stuff like that. But like then I just learned all the basic chords, and then I learned Nashville number system.
Okay, right.
And so then I was like, oh, I can just play like
I mean,
I
that
can play
technically is
any
theory, like honestly.
basically structured song.
Mhm.
Like I fully understand the Nashville number system,
Mhm.
and so like that's made everything. That kind of unlocked a lot for me to learn.
It does. It's also makes it really easy to learn like chord substitutions, you know, like using a minor
Mhm.
4 or a major 4, like substituting that kind of thing. Like that
Yeah.
that's something that definitely is like way more useful than sight reading. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that's dope, dude. So when did you first get a guitar like and start learning?
It was like junior year of high school.
And did
It
you
was
get
like
it
my first.
yourself or a gift or
No, like I think my parents got it for me
Mhm.
because I said I wanted to learn, and then that was like my only gift for a year or something. They got me a Yamaha, like $200 Yamaha guitar,
Mhm. And
and
an
it's
acoustic?
like it's acoustic. It's like the one that if you go in and they're like, my son wants to learn guitar, they're
Yeah.
like that one, and then they just got it and brought it
Right.
home.
Hell yeah, dude.
But yeah, I played it for most of my beginning of playing live music, and it was fine. It served me well, but
Yeah, dude. Like everybody, I still have my first guitar it's over there.
yeah,
And luckily, like we didn't go. My dad didn't take us to like a guitar center. We went to one of those like mom and pop stops, but it was just one dude, Rusty. It was called Rusty's, and so he
yeah,
built most of these guitars. So he sold us like 2 identical acoustic guitars, and they're really good guitars. And
nice.
like, luckily, like it's my first guitar is not a piece of shit like most people's.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that's pretty nice to have. Like Troy talked about that too. I had Troy on here last week, and I know you did some recording sessions with him
yeah,
early in his recording days. Like,
yeah.
I want to get back to that, but like, so when you first started playing guitar, did you ever want to like write songs, or were you just doing it to perform on church, or?
It was just like I wanted to play at church when I was going to church, and then it was just like the easiest, least like I have like tons of performance anxiety, so that was like the least anxiety inducing thing for me to do because like I
Mhm.
already know the songs. I was like I could just learn how to play this guitar, and then I like started having fun. You know, like
Mhm.
I was learning covers of songs that I already liked, but like it is so funny to like look back on like the music I listened to and like how little I knew of like good music is actually it's insane. Like when I started playing, I was just I knew like a couple of Beatles covers and
I remember your Blackbird, yeah.
like Yellow, you know, like it was just like anything that people are like, whoa, music is real, and then I start playing music. Those are the songs that I was like singing at open mics.
Yeah.
Um, but like I've always been able to kind of make them my own, which I like. Like I didn't have a lot of musical influences, so
Mhm.
like I feel like it can get really cloudy. Like if I was, I'm thankful for it in a way, because like I wasn't imitating as many people. I only had so much of a pool of music to draw from at first.
Right. Yeah.
So I've kind of developed my own like little take on things. Like when I cover a song, I feel like it sounds like me, which is nice. Like it's I feel like it's harder to work backwards rather than just be like kind of develop it naturally.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, that's awesome, because like I mean it's the same thing with everybody. Everybody starts with like a small pool of music, you know, and that's just basically what you've been exposed to. And then once you like there's so many ways you could, you know, go, but like for me personally, I would like listen to my influences, and then you listen to your influences, and then it just opens up this huge world of like they were listening to that, and like, oh, that's where they got the idea for this, you know, and it just becomes this mass web. And that's kind of like how, you know, I feel like music taste, like especially if you're going to it like as like that's your thing, you know, like everybody knows me as a music guy. I'm sure they know you as a music guy. Like I just have a wide variety, and it all comes from the same really, you know, stimulus, the interest of where did they get the idea for that, you know. And it's really cool when you start covering a bunch of songs like that, and just different artists you're influenced by, and how it connects to you, and then you develop your own sound like that. And you know, like you said, I think whenever you do cover a song, it like this, it doesn't sound like anyone but Will Christian, and it's just, you know, it's you do have your own take. You have a solid what's up? Hey, hold up, who's this? Finally got a Twitch account. Welcome to Twitch, and welcome to the live stream. I'm here with Will Christian.
Hey,
I don't know if you're here from my Instagram or his Instagram or whatever, but welcome. Thank you for being here. First time chat. Appreciate you. It's Liz. Oh, that makes sense.
Yes.
I don't know why I read that totally as like I don't know why. Funny. But welcome. Oh my god. Yeah. Let's go. So yeah. So 2/3 of Songs for Lila's here. That's awesome. So yeah, let's get back to it. You were writing songs, because I want to get to that too. You were doing the open mics. Are you talking about like back at whiskey business and that too?
Yeah, it was. I started at a place called in Fort Worth, called Dwell. And they had like the tiniest, dinkiest open mic ever. And it was kind of a thing that they only did if there were people who showed up and wanted to do it. And I feel like it was only like the people who worked there as friends did it. Yeah. And then I was like the one like shaky kid who was like, oh my god, it's an open mic, it's a real open mic, you know. I was like so scared. But like it was honestly the least intimidating space ever. It was great. Like, I would go up and play my 2 songs, and it was like a dissociative daze afterwards because I was like so nervous. And I'd be like, I don't remember playing. I don't know where I am. And then I did that, but it was like every week. So I'll go do that for a couple weeks. And then my friend actually, Chris, who worked with Shane and I at Starbucks, he went and opened his own coffee shop downtown, and that was the first like real gig, I guess, that I had, playing in a space where other people weren't also playing. That's dope. So those were mainly covers? Yeah, that was all cover shows, and that's like where my whole everything kind of started. Okay, so also I want to ask about this, or if I can ask you about this. At the time, you were performing under a different name. Like what was the significance of the name change? Oh yeah, the name change was like it's a lot more. It's a very simple narrative, actually. I just like did like my name a lot. Like growing up, like it didn't feel like me, and I didn't think about it that much until I was like had been out and like married and had my own kid, and then living on my own for a while. Like moved cities, like relationships had come and gone, and then I feel like I was just like I kind of felt like a new person, and I knew that some people you just go change their name if they don't vibe with it. So I basically just found out that you can just change it, and I was like, oh, I don't have to have this, like, I don't like my name, I don't like its meaning, I don't like that like someone else picked my name for me, and I'm just stuck with it till I'm dead. And I was like, my life's too short to not like my name, so I just changed it. That's pretty awesome, honestly. Like not a lot of people are bold enough to like just do that. Like that's just really cool. So that was after you came up, like the name Songs for Lila took place, right? Though, right? Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
It was
so
yeah.
where did Songs for Lila? Thank you for the applause. I was like really loud in my headset. Where did Songs for Lila come from? Like when you went from this name to performing as Songs for Lila.
Yeah, so Songs for Lila came from just me and Liz. My wife had like picked out a bunch of baby names, and like one of her favorites was Lila. And then we like ended up having a boy named Bennett. And
Mm.
so we just like never used the name, and it had been a couple years. And so when I was thinking about something that's like meaningful and like carries some weight to me and to her, that we were gonna like do some music together, I Lila made sense. And so I thought Songs for Lila was really cute, and like
Yeah, no,
it,
it's good.
it
It's
kind of
fitting.
it kind of resonates as like songs for dreamers is kind of what we say. It's just like, it's a dream that we had that like hasn't happened yet, but like who knows? It's kind of the mystery of it. It's kind of fun.
Yeah,
You're like, where's I don't know where life's gonna go, but like
yeah.
what a
There
cool
could,
name.
yeah, there could be a. There's like a theoretical Lila in the ether. She just hasn't manifested yet.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, yeah. But that's really cool. So, Songs for Lila was basically, yeah, it was a name that you thought was really good, and then Songs for I get it now. That's pretty fucking dope. Um, so then at that time you were still just a one man band, right? When did your wife get involved?
So we had done music like independently of each other
Mm.
for a long time. Like she grew up, she had more like a classical background in music. She played piano, and then she like started playing cello. And so we started out doing weddings. Actually, we were playing a lot of like the wedding circuit in
Mm.
like surrounding cities in Fort Worth, where like people have all this land they don't know what to do with, so they just everyone turns into a wedding venue. And so for like a couple of years, we were doing. She would play piano or cello, and then I would play like electric and sing.
Mm.
And then we kind of like stopped doing that for a while. We just like took a break and did other things. And moved after we moved to Galveston, we had like kind of talked about it a little more about like actually gigging together, because I had already like kind of introduced myself to Galveston, and people were like starting to book me, and I was like I wanted to have a band anyway. So
Mm.
we just talked about it, and then kind of decided that we wanted to like go in it together, because we're literally have it right here. We can just start doing it. And
Yeah. It was
it like
exciting to see because I remember when you were posting those first videos of her singing with you. I'm like, oh, that's cool. She's like singing with Will now. Like this is
yeah,
really cool. And then I start seeing the promo pictures, and then like Songs for Lila as like a two piece. I'm like, well, that makes perfect sense. You know what I'm saying? You guys
yeah,
sound great together. You're already partners in life, so why not be partners in like career? You know?
yeah.
And it's
It's
really
been a
cool,
lot of
man.
fun for
Yeah,
sure.
that's awesome. So like I'm guessing that's gone pretty well as far as like like does your schedules have to change? Like what about like the kid? Like how does that pertain
Um,
to like playing shows and
yeah,
stuff?
it's been it's been interesting because like we've had to just like have a lot of options for childcare,
Mm,
but like it's cool because we're with him like all the
the
time
kid.
basically. Liz works uh from home, and we're like I just work at a coffee shop other than music, so we already had kind of a flexible schedule.
Hmm.
So that was like another thing that we were just like, oh yeah, we could just if I'm at a gig, like we could just get a sitter and play the gig together, and like we could book more, and like I don't know, it was it like felt intimidating for like 5 seconds, and then we just realized it was like, oh, it's like a date night, but we're just going we're actually making money. So like let's
That's really cool.
like
Liz said the beach brought us together as a band.
for sure.
So the beach, I'm guessing that had a huge influence on like your aesthetic and
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
like coastal kind of coastal everything. Like in I feel like our style now is kind of like a cool amalgamation of like all of our like styles, and but like just like slap a coastal filter on all of it, and
Hmm.
that's where we like all agree.
That's cool.
And we like the like kind of coastal aesthetic. It's nice, and the beach is really pretty. I know Galveston gets a bad rep for their beach, but There's some really cool spots if you know where to go.
Yeah, I've actually never heard anything about Galveston Beach, but
Really?
I'll know to hit you up if I need to find a good spot. All
Yeah,
right,
come on.
here goes the meeting times running out for the first time. I told you I was only gonna get halfway through the list, bro. Yeah, so might as well just restart now. So yeah, I'm gonna take a first quick little break. I'm gonna send you a new Zoom link, and then I'll come back with some more questions for Will. How about it?
Got you.
Bet. 3, 2, 1.
Back with Brandon.
Oh, beautiful, man! I'm gonna sample that. That's gonna be one of my new sound alerts. I'm gonna sample the shit out of that. Fuck. Okay. Can you give me a b-nign?
Back with b-nign, yeah.
Oh boy, I'm gonna fuck my dude. Anyways, we're back. Will Christian over here giving me fucking golden bars of jewels and gold. All right, I got
Filling
questions.
out the soundboard.
Yeah, let's go. Filling out the soundboard. My dude right here. All right. So yeah, getting back to it. Elaborate as much or as little as you want, but I understand at some point within I can't remember before or after the name of Songs for Lila came, but at one point you lost faith or had or whatever, like you left organized religion. Can we talk about that?
So yeah.
Okay.
Basically, I went to church and like just grew up in it, and then basically just kind of became more, my own spirituality became more important to me than like religious spirituality, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like I kind of had a falling out with my family that was really tough, and then like with my immediate family. And so when that was going down, the church that I was like relying on was like really bad to me. And so that made me kind of take a look at things, I guess. And then I just realized that like it was a very unhealthy environment to like go through something in. So I just like took a step back from everything, and it's been very helpful and enlightening to like not be in that environment, because I think the church I was in was really toxic. And then like, you know, people like treated us really weird and like ostracized us a little bit. We're like talking behind our backs, and it was terrible.
I mean, that's pretty much all I've ever known of church. Like, what's weird, like some people find it weird, some people like aren't surprised, but like I remember some of my biggest bullies were from church, like on Sundays, not from school. And they were just like, but not more emotional bullies, you know, they're not gonna beat me up at church, but I mean, like, they're definitely mean. They like, you know, the whole talking shit and just the two-facedness, you know what I mean? I feel like that's a lot pretty rampant in Christianity. You know, there's like a lot of like hypocrisy because, you know, everybody says judge not and everybody judges, you know what I mean? That's just my personal experience. So like I can totally see like how a community like that could just betray like, or like kind of betray, like whatever you would call it, you know, like just like not that, be there. Yeah, just not be there for it when it's like members. Because you're all the same. It's like what?
They were mean, you know. It was kind of...
yeah, it's fucked up. They're mean.
They were like taking few shots, you know. And I was like going through it. Nobody, you know, it's like that thing where no one asked me anything. Like my friends, they didn't actually talk to me. They just like talk at me. You know,
all
they
speculated and
they all drew their own conclusions and had nothing good to say to me. And I was just like at a loss, honestly.
Dude.
So like my own personal like spiritual belief system, I feel like was also toxic because that was handed to me. And so I took a look at that and I've just completely flipped that on its head. Like I feel like I don't want to tell anybody else what to do, but my church that I was going to is bad, and like the like type of faith that I was taught was hurtful. So I just as of now, I'm like I'm not like taking any real stances. I think I'm just kind of somewhere in between.
In between, perfect. I'm gonna sample that too. Killing it with the sound bites today. No, that's awesome, dude. So I'm guessing all that negative energy and, you know, everything that came with that left with your name, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
Is that
it's
was a
like
tied to it?
it was like a shedding your old skin kind of
Hmm.
thing. It's
And
just like,
then relocating as well, right?
yeah, which the move was like honestly had nothing to do with any of that, which is kind of funny. It was
Okay.
just good timing. Like we just kind of wanted to live in Galveston. We vacationed here a lot. Like we took a lot of weekend trips, and then we were like we were kind of like having a reset anyways. So
Mhm.
like all of this stuff was happening, and then we were like, well, why wouldn't we move where we want to live? I think we were just kind of, it was another thing that seemed really scary until it didn't, and then we were like, oh, we can just move. It's, I feel like we had very like limiting system of beliefs that were like pitched to us about what your life should look like,
Hmm.
but we've just like kind of been doing what we want.
Yeah,
We
you
have,
guys just took it and took charge. Like once you had Bennett, then it's like, you know, we can you're your own family now. Like you are
yeah,
raising a new life, you know, and you want to set a good example. And I think you guys are doing that. It's pretty awesome, dude. You're like you're
thanks.
go-getters, positive energy, amazing, you know, great songs, you know. That's you know, good shit, guys. So like
Appreciate.
as far as like the music, like what do are you guys writing a lot of songs? Like how lucrative would you consider your songwriting now? Like you said it wasn't disciplined at the beginning, but how about now?
It's fluctuated honestly, because like I've booking has gone up. Like I feel like I've gotten like better and better at like being a musician, but the writing is interesting. That kind of fluctuates. Like
Hmm.
it depends on what's going on. Like during COVID, I wrote a ton,
Hmm.
and then that's like the the like EP I guess that I've written is was pretty much all during COVID. I wrote like 6 or 7 songs, and then like from there I like didn't have a lot of creative direction or like pull, so any writing I've done was just like poetry,
Okay.
which I feel like that's another outlet for my writing. So sometimes I don't turn the poems into songs, but like if I
Hmm.
feel really inspired musically, then I do. So it's been like here and there another song will like pop up when I feel really
Hmm.
inspired by something.
Okay, so like when you first like decided you're gonna like really write songs, like what was your main like lyrical influence? Were you going like more romantic or like shedding
Yeah,
some of that darkness, or like how did you approach, or did you have a mixed bag?
yeah, it's all sad boy music.
Sad boy
100
music.
Yeah, 100% singer songwriter sad boy music.
Oh,
One of my like I definitely have to mention one of my really good friends is like a huge influence on me
hmm.
musically because his name is Joseph Neville, and like y'all can just all go look him up. He's got music everywhere, so
Okay.
he's great. He plays a lot of like folk, and then now he plays some like really cool like retro kind of like pop rock
Okay.
with the other like creative projects. Crying in the car, and he was the first person that I saw
Is that the
when I
name of the
was like,
product? The project you said? Crying in the
the
car?
name of his other project is called Crying in the Car. Yeah.
I like that name.
Yeah.
I thought you were just saying he writes while crying in the car or something.
No.
Like
And his
that's
like
one
his
method.
releases are like, you know, when you would write like burn somebody a CD and you just wrote in Sharpie.
Yeah.
That was like his first like single he came out with. That was like the cover art. It was like
Oh,
the CD
sweet.
written on it. Anyways, he's great, and he was the first like live music influence that I saw that I was kind of captivated by because it was just him. And then I was like, oh, that's yeah, I want to do that because he
Yeah.
was because I knew there were like full bands like making waves and like playing big venues, but he was like playing in people's backyards and making a full time salary. You know, I was just like, I don't understand. Like, I gotta talk to that guy.
Yeah.
Um, I followed him on Instagram first, and then I met him like at a party randomly. I like saw him and I recognized him,
That's
and
cool.
I was like, "Oh my god, it's Joseph Neville!" And I was
Oh, you know what?
fangirling.
He played at the Rodeo Coffee backyard thing. I
Oh
follow him
yeah,
on
yeah,
Spotify. Yeah.
yes sir.
He's
He's
fantastic.
awesome. He's a really great musician and like performer. And he like brings a great energy. And so I like picked his brain a lot when I
No,
was
like no, he
first starting
he
to
kind of lives rent free in my brain every time I think about Spotify because he goes like he was doing, you know, you probably know what I'm talking about. Where like during
yeah,
the show, he's like, you can stream that song on Spotify and give me the .003 or whatever he said, something like
yeah,
a third of a penny.
A third of a penny.
Yeah. Like go get me those thirds of a penny or something. He will always say it was very funny. Like he just phrased it in a really funny and engaging way, and I lives rent free every time I get that Spotify paycheck. I'm like, thank you.
You'll be very happy to hear that. Yes.
I'm gonna have to hit him up. I don't know if I follow him on Instagram. I gotta go find him on other socials because like we saw him at the rodeo show, and I wasn't really fucking with socials then. I don't know if I should call it a rodeo show or backyard gig or whatever.
It was like a house show.
Yeah, it's like house show, coffee on the
patio show.
Oh,
yeah.
Coffee on brew, so good.
We're roasting coffee out of their backyard.
Let's go. Shout out to Rodeo Coffee, by the way.
Oh, good.
I'm gonna link. I'm definitely gonna link and plug Rodeo Coffee whenever I put this shit on YouTube and whatnot. But straight up, yeah. Continue about you were talking about Joseph, and he was like an influence on your writing and stuff.
Yeah, and like if I think you're cool and like I see you, it's over for you. Like I'm gonna talk to you for the next 6 weeks. Like you know what I mean?
I do feel that.
I'm crazy as heck. Like if I was like so excited about playing live, and I was like, that guy does what I want to do, and he's a looper pedal, and that was like one of the first times I saw someone use a looper pedal live, other than like Ed Sheeran, you know?
Yeah.
Like, but he used it in like a more I feel like it was way more toned down and like very intentional and like super folky, and I feel like folk music is like my soul music, so I was like immediately kind of drawn to just how he did things, and so then he really kind of inspired me to start trying to like gig on my own, and then Liz got me a looper pedal.
Nice.
And I'm using the same looper pedal now, but that's like where I've definitely grown from.
Nice.
So I had to plug him.
So you're primarily writing all the music?
Yeah.
And lyrics?
It's like I have that EP that I wrote, and then like I said, honestly, I haven't had a ton of like creative direction yet. I feel like I'm waiting because I want to make sure that it's right. I'm like, I want to like definitely come correct with like the new writing, because like with the new bands and like new arrangements and like everything's growing right now. I'm trying to like, well, you know, and Liz is like super instrumental in like helping us like find a sound and like what covers we're gonna do, like what we're like messing around, like what instruments we're gonna use, because we just introduced like a third member.
Yeah, that's one of the next thing I was gonna ask about. So what's her name?
Kay.
Okay, and how did she get involved?
So I met her husband randomly at my.
Bennett had something to say. What was that?
I have no idea. He just said, "Daddy." All right. Are you good?
Bennett, right. He's like, you know, he never asked me for an interview. Yeah, go ahead, man. Do what you got to do. Right, we'll take a little break and we'll be right back. Parenting 101, dude.
We out here parenting.
Out here parenting, man. Doing the damn thing. Okay, so Kay, how did she get involved?
I met her husband, and he is the drummer for a band called Fit for a King, like a metal band. And so he's like, he just got back from tour actually, so he tours with them, and he's really cool and talented. And I just did the thing I always do when I see someone I thought was cool. I was like, hey, want to hang out? And we talked for a second, and then I feel like we were vibing a little bit. So then we just like got coffee with them. Then it came out that she could sing.
Oh.
She wasn't gonna tell anybody. And then like I felt like she's not like, I'm a singer, you know. She was just like, I can sing. But then she and Liz went to karaoke, and she picked A Million Reasons, the Lady Gaga song. And like that song vocally is nuts because Lady Gaga is insane. And then she like hit everything, you know. She like hit all the notes.
Nice. I gotta look up that song because I know I have a very small Lady Gaga knowledge. You know, just a couple singles.
Honestly, it's one of the ones that I happen to have heard. I feel like I'm not a diehard Lady Gaga fan, but she's got a couple of bangers. Yeah,
I covered what's that song? Paparazzi by request because
oh my god, yes.
it was a weird song to do because the verse kind of doesn't really have a chord progression. It's just noise almost, but yeah. Anyway, It's weird, and do what the people want. You know what I mean?
Amazing.
So yeah, did you end up covering that song with the band?
Yeah. So like
Yeah.
we added that to the set list, of course. But like that's how she exposed herself. She
Mm-hmm.
was like, we were like, oh no, you can sing, like you can be in our band, and then she was down. So we just like threw a set list together in like 10 days because we had a show coming up, and
Mm.
so we just like threw it on the set list, and it like went really well. So
Nice. So how were you doing harmonies and everything?
yeah, so we do at least 2-part harmonies for most of the songs, and then sometimes we throw in like a third harmony.
Mm.
But it's been a lot of fun.
So who's been taking
Yeah.
the lead?
It's kind of shifts actually,
Yeah.
which is nice. Like
That's really cool.
I've got like probably like 8 songs that I lead. We've got like another 6 that Kay leads. Liz has got like 5 or 6 songs that she leads. So we're like, it's like shifted now, which is kind of nice. Like
You're like
it's
a Americana Blink 182.
yeah. Like I like that that I also am getting to sing parts now, because it's like also I love singing parts.
Yeah.
Like if I could just go around and like tour with my favorite artists, but like I just like let me sit back in the back of the stage and just sing parts and just bask in the glow of songs that I like. That would be
Yeah.
like that's my chosen like pretend career.
That's so fucking awesome. Like when I first started playing guitar, like that was pretty much my goal. Like I didn't even want to sing. I wanted to be a rhythm guitarist for a band. Like I was like, I want to play guitar. You want to sing? Do you want to drum? Do you want to bass? Do you want to drum? I just ask everybody.
Yes.
You're my band, and then it became like, I guess I'll just sing this shit myself. But
Yeah.
like, yeah, dude. Like I totally understand that. Like even like to this day, without having a guitar on stage, I feel naked. Like I just feel like
Oh,
exposed. Like if I don't have a guitar in front of me.
it's vile. I hate that so much.
Mhm.
It's such a cold space to stand with no instrument. Oh Lord, everybody, if you're listening, if you like to sing, just learn it. Just learn something. We'll help you, please. Hit me up. I'll teach you guitar. Just like, don't just stand there alone in the spotlight and sing. There are better things for you.
Exactly. Oh my god. Like especially as like introverts or like any type of like even ambivert or whatever. Like
Yeah, I'm ambiverted as heck.
yeah. Like I'm definitely like if I'm passionate about something, I'll go on for like hours, but you have to get it out of me if you first meet me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be very quiet.
Yeah. Like the type of confidence that I have, I feel like is if I could probably go up and do a comedy show, but it's where I'm just responding to people the whole time. Where they go up and you just play off the crowd.
Yeah, and like improv.
That I can do because people just hand you material. I can riff all day, but like if I have to go up there and like I will prepare my jokes and I hope you think they are funny. Like I would rather die. Never. I hate it. I'm so bad at talking during shows. Still, it's like
I'm the same
I'm still
way.
crying.
I'm getting better at now because like I have to, with Twitch and everything, and with chat, like I've talked about this like once before, but chat is just like a whole different vibe because like in a live show, the audience, they're all thinking, they're all just standing there like watching, thinking, nodding their head, drinking, whatever. Like in chat, they can just say what they're thinking, and I can read it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's like a little bit of an engagement, like a back and forth, and it's so different that I even got used to it over like being at a live show in person because it's like I don't know what that person's thinking, like you know what I mean, at the show, and it's just different. And I'll just be like throw emojis in the chat and they'll like go all over the screen, but like you can't just be like, yo, everybody just say fire. Or whatever.
We need live chats for audiences.
Yeah, kind of like a hologram or something. Holograms are pretty big now, right?
Yeah, they're like one of my guitar students was like gonna do a crazy light show for one of his shows, and he's doing it now. It's pretty cool.
That's
like
sick.
A pre-programmed light show.
Nice.
He's killing it.
That's so cool. Like to incorporate visuals, like it's really important nowadays to have visuals. Especially like even if you just upload a song on like just Spotify, like there's a canvas. You need a visual to go with your song. So yeah, it's
Yeah,
just really cool to incorporate that like right at the live show too, and so you get the full experience.
I have such a rabbit trail. Can I go down this rabbit
Yeah,
trail?
go.
There's something I've been thinking about a lot. Like, I know this isn't new news, but like it fascinates me so much that if you talk about the increase in like accessibility in music, but since everyone can make music, it's a lot. It's like, you know, you feel like you're kind of fighting for a voice, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like the people whose careers who carry longevity right now, the people to watch, like Harry Styles, like Taylor Swift, these people who have literally worldwide insane fame that you
Mm-hmm.
can't even like touch. It's
Mm-hmm.
crazy. Everything they write, people just
Yeah.
like that. They have a whole team of people to make their look, their sound, their interviews, everything about them is like part of the creation. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
you have to an extent, be able to do that. You have to be so multifaceted that like you have everything curated well. You can't just like make a good record and
Mm-hmm.
get a good following. Like now it's impossible.
Yeah,
With social
right.
media representation, like that's where so much happens. Everything is virtual. You have to have professional photos. You have to have professionally made graphics for your shows. You
Mm-hmm.
have to have posters. You have to, and like, well, everybody, this is a recession, dude. Like,
Speaking of which,
unless
we got posters at the b-nign shop. If you go to b-nignmusic.com, you see the link right down there. Got posters, got t-shirts, got stickers. All right, I had to do the plug
you
since
go.
you mentioned
Plug
it.
That's what I'm saying right there.
Stay
Like,
lucrative.
we're out here having to do all of it. So I just think it's fascinating.
Yeah,
Like,
no, you're totally right. Like they have whole teams. Like I listened to Hosier's new album today, which is fucking
yeah,
fantastic. Totally recommend it. Yeah, dude, and he's one of my favorite artists. Like one of like a dozen or so artists that I like. I just num 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 like you said. I
yes,
love
yes,
Hosier so much. And dude, like, and when he started, he recorded "Take Me to Church" in like his grandma's attic or some bullshit like that, and. Like
awesome.
it did blow up, and it gave him the following to build the team. You know what I'm saying? So there's like
Yeah,
there's a level of capturing lightning versus just consistency and hard work. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And like if you have any level of talent, like just bare minimum, like there's avant-garde shit that has huge followings because they just consistency, they promote it, they tell everybody about it, they expose themselves to the right people. Like not that doesn't mean your friends, your immediate family. It means people who actually would have a genuine interest. And in the day and age of social media, you know, it's not hard to find those people. You got hashtags and you know, there's ats and people make whole accounts based on whatever. Like I follow a Rise Against Art account, like
yeah,
an artist that literally specifically makes art inspired by Rise Against the band, you know, what this one band. So, you know,
yeah,
it's just so crazy. You can find so many people, and like you said, like it's just like people have teams, yes, but at an independent level, you have to be willing and able and consistent and actually, you know, like how do you say budget your time? What I'm trying to say, like have a good
yes,
schedule, you know, to be
yeah,
able to do all this stuff yourself. And yeah, that's one thing. Like when I was making that post for the promo today, you know, I was like, the same thing I do with everybody. I scroll through the Instagram and I look at the aesthetic. I even pulled with the paint eyedropper tool like the exact color font that you have the songs for Lila, you know what I mean? And I got the closest font. I went and downloaded a new font to find the closest one, you know what I mean? Like just to match your aesthetic and to bring, you know, to bring that to the show and, you know, and match it with mine, because I always use the same font too. It's called Cyberverse. But yeah, dude, like it's all, everything is important. The font you use, that's something I learned like a year and a half ago. Like he's like, they have a designated font and people will start recognizing it. Have a logo, like your little flower thing. It's fucking awesome. You guys are doing the damn thing. And I love that you talked about that and you have such a grasp on what it takes, and you know, that you guys are actually doing it, like walking the talk and talking the walk, and it's fucking awesome to see how
they're trying to,
yeah, it's no, it's dope, man. Like from, you know, from especially just the Instagram standpoint, you know, like it's really cool to see your journey from just playing open mics to this whole, you know, revelation and character change into what you are now, and like this 3-piece group out of Galveston that's just out there playing shows and living life and raising a kid and just doing
Yeah.
everything to make it work. It's inspiring, and I'm sure like when I start cutting up the micro content for this thing, like you're gonna inspire a lot of people, and I'm sure we're Painted said we're proud of you, son.
Thanks, mom.
Said
Also,
thanks, man.
shout out to Liz for the band aesthetic. Like, she's that's her like one of her major creative strengths is like branding, marketing. Like that's what
Nice.
she does for her job. So all the logo, color design, fonts, like that's her, man. She kills that stuff.
Liz, we know you were
That's
there.
straight Liz.
Yo, killing it with the aesthetic, the whole beach vibes, all that, dude. Liz, hats off, hats
Yeah,
off.
it's
Headsets. I don't know.
it's
Yeah, that's fucking awesome. So, I guess I'll ask you a couple more questions, which are like lighter questions I like to ask everybody, which is, what's the best show you have ever been to that's not one you've played?
ooh interesting. Let me think about that. I haven't been to a lot of shows. I know it's kind of shameful, but like I've I've been to oh I played it down. Like okay, I'm gonna
Okay,
cheat.
well, even if it's someone that you
I haven't
play,
been to a lot of
you can do
concerts, but
two.
like there's a very special defining show that I went to. I went to Austin to see our friend who lives there. And I met a guy like on the river. He had this
Mhm.
crazy like cool carbon fiber travel guitar. And I like started talking to him about it, and then he invited me to this little open mic out there. And then that was the first time I played like my music, like recently written music in front of people, and they
Okay.
were like really excited and like very like responding to it because most of the time people like weren't paying attention to me when I was playing, and
Yeah.
like everyone who played that open mic like killed it. It was so much fun. That was huge, and I know it's like a small show, but
Yeah.
that it was like very defining moment. I feel like.
No, I ask everybody that, and like everybody has a different, it doesn't matter the size of the show, it's like literally just, oh, I forgot to do that. That's why it looked different. There we go. It's like not the size of the show, it's literally just the experience you have there. And, yeah, dude, there's so like, I always ask that because like I had like my favorite show ever was in April 2022, and it was Jacob Collier, and it was a big show. It was sold out,
Oh,
but
that's cool. You got to go. That's awesome.
oh, I forgot. Of course, Jacob Collier, but yeah,
Yeah.
dude, it was Nirvana. It was. We'll have to talk about it sometime
Oh my
because
God.
like when I start talking about that show, it'll you're gonna need 30 minutes and probably
Yeah.
some water and another energy drink and another coffee. No, but it was like the closest I've been to like Nirvana and like euphoric. I always describe it as euphoric, but that's why that's one of the
Yeah.
first questions I initially want to ask people, is because there's always like there's definitely got to be one of those shows that people go like, holy shit, or like just a life changing experience. Like even like my first show ever was just a local band. It was just like dudes
Hmm.
that lived in the city. The crowd was small. They were all like separate and just standing there like statues. But I
Hmm.
was like as close as I could to the stage. Like I was 14, I think, so very
Okay.
young.
Yeah.
And it was like hard rock, something like Nickelback or Trapped or something like that. And I was just like
Hmm.
watching the guitar player, just like mesmerized. And then I was like, this is so cool. Like just to see I've never seen a whole band together, and that's what I love
Yeah.
to see. Like one of my favorite bands is Arcade Fire, and
Yeah.
they're huge, like 12 piece or something like that. So I just love huge, big bands. It's like that the experience of like people working together to create one thing is just
Hmm.
like that's what I love about music, you know what I mean? And ironic because I'm a fucking one man band,
Yeah.
but it's still just about the combination of like the chords and melodies and the ideas and everything. So like yeah, it's fucking awesome to see. Um, yeah. So then I was also gonna ask you what's the best show that you've played. Well, I'm guessing that
Ooh,
was
that's different though. I
okay.
think I think like that was the whole like vibe of that was very cool. Um, I think the best show. Oh, like I my most exciting show you were at, because I got to open for that guy
At
at
Tulips. Yeah.
That was cool because it was like kind of out of the blue, and I'd already moved to Galveston, but he like hit me up, and he's not film. It wasn't like an arena show, but like that was cool. It was like a real venue with a green room, and like I got to like go back and like and then play my songs for people. It was cool. I was hyped for it.
That's dope. Hell yeah, dude. So you've been mainly playing like coffee stops and backyards and stuff like that, like Joseph?
Yeah. So yeah, just local gigs.
Mhm.
Like and then we did like a kind of a short house show circuit like tour in Galveston because people have really, really cool backyards here.
Mhm.
We played one that was like out in a backyard on somebody's. They're like on the water.
Mhm.
We got
Like
to play out
this,
there. Super cool.
like you had the like the gear set up like on a dock or something.
Yeah, it was. They have like their back porch, and then there's a little hill, and then it goes down into like a marina, and then they had like this little like back porch extended out this little thing, and it wasn't like over the water, so I wasn't like crapping my pants,
Yeah.
but it was it was really cool. Like the sun was setting behind the water, and we got to play right there, and that was
And people were like sitting up on the
Mhm.
hill.
I love house shows too. That's like I love them so much. Nothing beats house shows.
Yeah, I bet. And, yeah, it's like more comfortable bathrooms.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's like everyone's drunk, but like happy drunk.
Is it more comfortable, because like at a venue, you're out of place. It's a bar. They're just trying to sell you stuff. You got to tip the bartenders. You know what I'm saying? You want to be respectful, of course, to people that you're playing their houses at. And like, I don't know,
Yeah.
like if there's tip jars for them and stuff like that. But it's just more, it's not a business. It's not a business atmosphere. So I could assume that would be way more chilled and laid back.
Yeah, people actually want to hear you.
Yeah.
It's just the difference. Like you don't have to like entice people to listen to your music or like be louder than something else.
Mhm.
Like I feel like that's most of live music. If you're not playing big venues, like you're just kind of like you're at a place that has other things that distract people, and then like you trying to get them to listen to you.
Yeah.
But like, and normally it's not like it's not that depressing, but like you know what I mean. People they'll
Yeah.
listen to you, but they'll miss half your song because they're talking to a friend or
Yeah.
whatever. But if
Or
you're
they
playing,
didn't come there to see you. They came there to see the
yeah,
the headliner or whatever,
or the football game or
Yeah.
why they're there. So it's cool. You can tell, you feel it when people really listen to what you're playing. So
Yeah,
I
that's
like
dope.
that. Sure.
Most definitely. So yeah, now we're down to 6 minutes on this meeting. So we can go ahead and end the thing, but since we got 6 minutes, would you like to play a song?
Oh shoot. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to hear like a song, whatever you got working on, the best shit you got, that you want, that you're comfortable with playing.
Okay, I'll play one of my favorite songs.
But I'm gonna mute my audio and then bring it. Appreciate you, man. This
All right,
is Will
thanks, man.
Christian of Songs for Lila.
All right, this song's called "Align." Let's see. And the walls in my mind have gone and moved, and the orchestra still never to play again. Starts to spin around in my head, and the moonlight is my only friend. I truly thought there were certain rules that held us together, but tonight, now I see I've played the fool. Could someone just make the stars align again? Then I'll feel better. Without you here, I learned how to cry again and feel again. So thank you. And Bennett is screaming at me. Well, that's half of it.
No, I thought it was a duet for a minute. Like he was killing it. Like right when that drop happened, he said, "Yeah." No, he killed it, man. Hey, I appreciate that, dude.
Cool.
So I guess I'll let you go.
I'll get out.
Yeah, I'll let you go, man. Thanks for doing this, man. Will Christian. I'm gonna put all the links. Do you have any recorded music coming soon? Are you gonna be on like? Are you gonna be on any streaming services? You have recorded music coming out soon, or how's that? What's the future? What's the future?
The future is bright. I'm gonna. We have plans to go to Nashville and record. Like in the works right now, but nothing locked and loaded. Just kind of taking it easy and gigging and finding a sound is kind of our direction right now.
Right.
But I've got my EP that I still want to release under the same name, but that's going to be hopefully like very near future. But
okay, well, keep me updated because I want to throw the links on, when I put this on YouTube and everything's going on, and keep people updated with what you're doing. So yeah, I like
everyone can hear everything we're doing on Instagram and Facebook. That's like our main representation.
And then you'll see Songs for Lila. The Instagram tag is right above Will's head right there. Go find him there. Yeah, so I'll put the links in YouTube, and I'll make sure that all the crosses of T's and dots of I's are happening.
I'm coming, buddy.
So yeah, we're gonna go take care of business. And will y'all ever collab? Oh, Payton wants to know if we'll ever collab. Most definitely. I'm not gonna sing on it, but I'll definitely collab. I'd love to write, with Jacob or with Will. That'd be fucking so fun to do. Yeah, dude. So yeah, thanks for joining me. This has been the In Between. Will Christian, Songs for Lila. Keep them in your radar because things are happening, man. So peace, stay real, question everything.